The All Sorts project. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. There are 2 versions of this project. And the templates come in the kits. So don't be alarmed if you don't see templates. It's because they're actually in here. The options that you've got is there is a tree kit, and that makes this. I love this. And then there is a bauble project, and that makes 3 of these. Not the popcorn strings, but 3 of these. And we have another little one sort of down here, which we've put on a stick. So, you know, you don't have to make baubles with them. There is so much that you can do with it. The kit comes with the fluff pack, and the fluff pack is enough to make either one of these tree projects or 3 of these baubles. And of course, you know, you'll have some left over as well. But let's just have a quick look at this project. Stay. There is a PDF. I am delighted to say. You get a PDF, and this will be a download when you make your purchase on the website. And as I mentioned, the new projects and the wings and things and the field poppy, that all goes live after the end of this show. Just give me about 5 minutes to hit the go button. If it does appear as out of stock, just give it a minute, because sometimes it can take just a minute or 2 for the quantities to update. But all being well, hopefully. There is a PDF, and the PDF shows you weights and measures, and this is actually the old PDF I've just noticed that I printed out. But you also get the list of what components make up each of the All Sorts. So actually, let me move that there a second. Let's just start with this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. So this is very much like the tree. Well, it is exactly the same as the tree, but we've added the moustache and the top hat from the steampunk template set, and you can make this guy. He's ace. A little sorty monster. And oh my goodness, there's just so much to show you guys. Let me get one of these down. She says, let's try that. Okay. Okay. So what you get, sorry, my computer is now having a bit of a fit at me. What you get is you do get the glass. You also get the stick. You will get a plain dowel, however, like this. Now this one's printed, and it's worth pointing out that if you're going to paint your stick, you'll see when I start to do the assembly, but you actually only just want to paint the middle part, because if you paint the bottom part of the stick, it won't fit in the thing, what is in there to hold it in the glass. There. So you get the glass. Now your glass will not have these decals on it. We just did this for a bit of extra bling. You get the stick. In here, in fact, let me get this. What I've done is, that's what you get, is that glass. And you get this little structure. And I designed this to fit in these glasses. And what you do is you put your stick. Sorry, bear with me. There we go. You get your stick, you pop it in there, and then that fits. It sort of floats a little bit, but that fits inside of your glass, and that's really quite nice and sturdy. I mean, you can see it's wobbling a little bit, but I'm doing that to it. So you wedge that down in there. Now what we've done is we've lined our glass with a bit of paper, on the inside of the glass. And then what we've done is put a bit of wool in there and then balanced a few extra of these sweeties on top. So that's how we construct that. You don't get the ribbon in the kit, but you do get everything else. So you get the glass, the dowel, your little stand to hold it, you get the stick, you get the ball. This is based on a polystyrene ball, so you get that. And obviously you get all of the wires because these are connected with wire to the ball. So let me put that back up there, she says, in the hope that she doesn't hit and make the shelves really wobbly. Right, there we go. So that's the tree. Where are you? There you are. Oh dear, it's going to be one of those broadcasts. So that's the tree. And for the bauble, it's pretty much the same. The construction is the same. This is based on a smaller polystyrene ball. In fact, let's see, I don't think I've got, I'm going to open these because I didn't get everything out I needed to. So let me just open this up. So in the tree, you get a big, I think it's like an 8 centimetre ball. Excuse the rustling. You get all of the wires and everything else. There's your ball. There's the templates. You get your templates, like I said, they're in there as well. And you get all of your wires. Now these are based off 20 gauge wires, and we're going to do a bit of a semi. It's not a terribly complicated project, but the scope for it is just amazing. Well, now the tree does have 99 sweets on it. 99 sweets. And the baubles have about, I want to say, about 28 to 30 sweets on each. So you've got more than enough materials and more than enough wires and things to make that whole project. And as I mentioned, the templates, they're in there as well. And I've made these extra chunky because they're just a bit small to hold at the regular sizes. So there you go. And as I said, there's a PDF, so you'll be able to see which ones, which layers you make to make all of the different combinations. And of course, I mean, you could go anywhere you want with it, you know. There's so many different sort of little things that you can make with this set. And I am really, really looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to make with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make one of the sweets and how to sort of assemble one and do one of everything. So I'm not going to rush the broadcast today because this is going to form part of, or this is going to form the online tutorial for how to make this project. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just get myself ready, which means I'm going to put that over there so I can see how much wool that I need to put in this. So the square template, which is actually more of a rectangle, that you're going to use 0.2 to 0.3 grams. The circle, when you do, you know, the one that's got the little black dot in it, you're going to be using about 0.7 of a gram, and you can use your tube for making the black dot as well. So that helps. Then when you're making, I call them the bobbly ones, you know, they're the all sorts that have got all covered in all the bobbles. If you're making those, then that's going to be about 0.5 of a gram, but that's a blend. So you've got your wool in your kit to sort of hand blend, and then you've got your tube, and the tube makes, where have they gone? These little bad boys. Hang on. Let me just move that out of the way. These. So, and again, I'm going to take you through, talk you through, and make sure that you've got all of the information for creating each of these projects. Now, it is worth pointing out that the baubles and the tree do not have these black ones on them as part of the actual construction. We didn't use those. We just used the circles and the rectangles or the squares. But we use these, or I have used these in the top of the glass. So, but I wanted to give you all three. We just found that these didn't really work for us on the balls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to make a one of the rectangles or one of the square ones. I think the PDF says square, but look at the sweetie jars. Look at the sweetie jars. Oh my God. I love them. I love them. Right. Okay, so what am I doing? Let's do a marigold coloured one because I think that will show up really well. Now, the way that these are constructed is you actually make the individual layers and then we felt them together. So, for example, here's the ones what we made earlier. So, let me get on that camera there. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to use this template. In fact, let me put it on the overhead. That's a bit better. There we go. And you make out each of the slices. Now, on your PDF, the new version of the PDF, which is the one that I updated last night, you actually have all of the combinations listed out for you for all of the different sweets. So you see that one makes that one. But let me not get ahead of myself. We're going to do this one, and I'm going to use the marigold colour. I'm going to be weighing out PDF 0.2 to 0.3 grams. And that's 0.3. So I'm just going to pull myself off a little bit. And these things are absolutely great for just sitting down on an evening and banging out your little slices. They take minutes to do, and then before you know it, you've got a nice great big bag of bits, and then you just start assembling. I'm going to be starting off with my 40 spiral just to get this in the template. Now, normally what I would do is say, oh, put in your edges first and everything else. But with this, you really don't have to, because you can just stuff it in. Then just go round, because it fills the template, you know, almost to bursting. Just get right, but make sure you get right into those corners. Very, very light needle. And again, I'm not driving out the bottom into my mat. I'm just, when you feel the density of that flat mat, you stop. And that way you're not driving your fibres out into your felting surface. So really nice and lightly. That's basically where I'm stopping with my needle when I fill that mat. And that's the difference between something like the flat mat and just a foam surface, because the foam doesn't offer you much in the way of resistance. So all the way around. Now that's in there, lovely jubbly. So I'm just going to move up to my my 38 spiral, which is the purple head, slightly faster felting. I mean, you may have you know, your preference for needles. I do like the spirals. I must confess that they are a favourite of mine. You can use a multi-tool. This one I think I got from Wingham Wool, and it's a 3 needle. It's a bit of a beast, but you can see how quickly that felts down. There are also these sort of the Clover Pen Tools, and they're slightly thinner. Oh, sorry, I think my camera was a bit going a bit wonky there, so I'll just put that on the overhead. You can see that it's compacting very, very nicely. I don't think I have a Clover Pen Tool, but at least not within reach. So it is just a case of felting that down in situ, nice and firm. And you do want these nice and firm. You really do, because you know you want your sweets to look sort of crisp. You want your sweets to look crisp. I'm sorry, I'm very self-entertaining today. Oh my goodness. Right, so I'm going to turn it over, felt both sides, and obviously I'm waffling away as I'm doing this, so it's going to take me a little bit longer. But nice and firmly felted. Just keep going over it using that compacting technique, which is really, really tiny, tiny little stabs, just using the first barb or two on the needle. Now what I'm going to show you is what happens if you get a really thin edge. And because, can you see, I've got a little gap up there in the corner. Now this is still quite chunky at the moment, but if, for example, you had a little bit of a thin edge, or you needed to, you know, bulk out a little bit of a corner, then the instinct can be to just try and stuff some more wool in. Oh, here we are, over there, to try and sort of stuff some more wool in there. And you can do that if that works for you. Great. It doesn't work for me. I end up with all kinds of lines and things. So what I would do is just take a little bit extra of the wool. Let me see, where's my gap? There it is. Okay, so I want to bolster out this corner. So what I'll do, this is the corner I want to bolster out. Take your fluff and overlay half of it, few light stabs, then turn it over and push it down into the template, and you see that it just brings that tuft and it wraps it over that corner, and then felt it down on the other side. Light needle, and then obviously you can go in with your big guns. Let's pop you on the close-up a minute. And felt that back down, and you can probably see now that there's no, that sort of gap that was missing has gone. So keep turning it over and keep felting, and you will end up with a very nice firm slice of sweetie. That's about as much as I'm going to do with that. I mean, mine's still a little bit chunky. If you find that it is chunky, you can give it a little bit of an iron. Now, ironing with these it can be a bit hit and miss. If you're a bit chunky, you can put a bit of pressure on it and just help thin it out a little bit. But remember that if you put pressure on it, it's going to displace. So once you've ironed it, you might then want to pop it back in the template and just, you know, refirm those edges. You can also give it a little bit of a trim. So you want, basically you want them all about the same kind of thickness. Don't worry if there's a little bit of difference, you know, it's fine. They are, you know, they're just a joy to look at. So don't worry about being, you know, too precise. The pocket scale, which we'll get some links put up in the chats for you for the pocket scales. All the pixies now have just gone, wait, what? Links? So we'll get some links put up. There is also a link on the weights and measure page on the website for the pocket scale that I use. And it just lets you weigh out consistent 0.2 of a gram, 0.2 of a gram, 0.2 of a gram. And that weight plus that shape equals pretty much the same thing over and over again. So in order to make these, I would make a bag of them. You can glide your iron over it. So rather than putting any pressure on, you want a hot iron, full steam, and just glide your iron over the top. No pressure at all. Gives you a nice surface. But what I would suggest is maybe making a couple of sacrificial pieces first. So make yourself 2 or 3 pieces, iron, don't iron, pressure, just glide it over and just see, because you don't want to sort of get into it and then think, no, this isn't what I wanted, it's not looking right. So just have a little bit of a play, have a little bit of an experiment and see what works for you. Once you've got, let me just grab my little snippy scissors, you can just take off any really wispy bits like that, and it just neatens the whole thing up. So once you have got, see, this one's quite chunky compared to that one, but I haven't really firmed this up, and I think this one is about 0.2 of a gram and this one is closer to 0.3 of a gram. So again, you know, work out what sort of weights and measures. There's no real wrong way for this. If you feel that you like the 0.3 grams, you like that sort of chunkier slice to your all sort, then do the chunkier slice. So, but once you have your slices on the PDF, you'll see there are little boxes, which I can't show you now because that's the old PDF. And it says, for example, you know, you've got this one. And this one is white, black, white, black, white. And that's how you make that one. And we're going to do that one over there, which is marigold, black, and white. And that's the one that we're going to be making. So what I do is, pop you back on the overhead a second, is that's what we're doing. How to explain this? You want to join the layers, but you don't want to drive the fibres out the side or out the bottom. So you know, you don't want the black going through the white. So the way I do this is I felt the outside ones towards the middle. So I'm going to put the middle one in first, which sounds a bit weird, but put the white one on the top, grab your needle, and you want to felt about 5 mil inside of your edge and just go all the way round. And you can see I've got just a tiny little bit of white hair coming through, but that's okay because this is the middle one. I would use my lightest needle. I'm using my 40 spiral, which is the blue or the light blue. There, and let me just get that focus. You can see that it's not really coming through, but you can see that this is quite well attached. Then what I would do, so that's what we've just done. Turn it over, put the other one on top, and again, now what we're doing is we're felting to the middle. So that's where we're stopping the needle. So we're felting sort of to there. We're using the end, maybe 8 mil of our needle, and just go all the way around. My overhead camera's having a bit of a focusing issue. Very, very lightly up to that edge. And again, using the template. I mean, the ones where you have like 5 layers, they don't fit in the template. But what I would do is get sort of 3 layers joined together, get 2 layers joined together, and then, you know, just hold the template, or hold one on top of the other. So, and again, not going all the way through because we don't want that colour bleed. There, you can see none of the orange has come out, or black has come out the bottom, because we're felting to the middle, always to the middle. And when you are felting, you can use your finger as a stop. So you know that when your finger touches your project, you're only going through that far. There's a little handy tip for you. And what you have then is your little finished all sort. Pop it on the there you go. It is that simple, and it is that quick. Okay, so what I'm going to quickly show you is how to make what I call those bobbly sweets, and that's these sort of motley coloured. When you buy the actual sweeties, they're sort of covered in baubles, and obviously that is insanely difficult to felt. You might want to make little baubles, and if you do, my hat is off to you, but I didn't want to do it. So what we've done is we've created a blend that will almost sort of simulate different highlights and tones. And oh, there we go. I need to refer to my PDF. What we've got is you're going to be mixing these three colours, which is cornflower blue, bright blue, and white. Now the weights and the ratios are all on the PDF, but what it creates is this little gem, and we're using, what are we using? We are using 0.3 grams of cornflower blue. We're using 0.1 of bright blue and 0.1 of white. And if you've never done hand blending before, then you could use carding brushes, or you could use dog brushes to simulate carding. But what you don't want to do is over blend this, because you do want those sort of different bits of colour coming through. So to hand blend, what you do is you stack your fibres on top of each other and you pull them apart, and then you stack them like that. And then you grab the ends and you pull them apart again and you stack. So pull, stack. Pull, stack. Turn it through 90 degrees, pull, stack. You don't want any real blocks of colour, so, you know, fussy pick it, pull, stack, pull, stack, and just do that until you think you want it a little bit choppy, but you don't want it, you know, you don't want it so blended that you've just almost created the illusion of a new colour. You do want those little variations. So for, I think it's 0.5. I'm going to go with 0.5 of a gram, which is what I think this one is. Oh, apparently it was already weighed out. And for that, you're going to use your circle. And like the other one, just stuff it in there. You know, really stuff it in. This is probably the only fiddly bit with these templates, is getting them, getting it started. So just lightly. And again, I'm just felting to get the fibres down into the template. I'm actually gone straight in with my 36 star, which is my my heavy workhorse. So I've got a little bit of white just there, which I could probably you know, you can add a few more fibres over the top if you need to. And then start that compacting technique. And again, these are going to want to be super firm. In fact, I probably could have blended this one a little bit more. This is a bit too choppy, but that's fine. I'm going to turn it over. You can see, let me put it back on the overhead. You can see that you've got that sort of colour variation. It's coming out a lot better on this side than it is on this side. And just start by working and going all over. And it's going to compact down into that template. So all over. And just keep turning it and felting and turning it and felting. And you're going to end up with this one. So let me just weigh this one a minute. Yeah, that's 0.5 of a gram. I never doubted myself, really. But, I mean, you could do somebody an injury with this. It is rock solid. The weights and measures, they are a little bit of a guide. You know, it's not set in stone. If we've said 0.5 but you prefer 0.4, then go with 0.4. If you want to put in a pinch extra, like I said, the weights and measures, they can be found under the projects, infos and downloads link on our website. And it's a sort of a stepping off point, and obviously the weights are based on our wool. I am going to show you, what am I going to show you now? The wiring. I'm going to show you the wiring. And in the kit, you'll find that I'm a bit random. So I'll go off on tangents. In your kit, you have got a whole pack of these wires, and these are 20 gauge wires, and you will need a pair of wire snippers. God forbid you're going to need glue. I don't want to do it. Mainly because I forgot my grease-proof paper. It's in the kitchen, which means not only do I have to handle glue, but I have to do it without the aid of a safety net. Now, once you've got, let me find a sweetie. Not that one. Let me find one that's actually felted properly. What you're going to do is for making these, you're going to need 4 centimeters of wire. So you're going to need 40 mil. There or thereabouts. Oh, she says, and then completely muffs it up. So you're going to need about 40 mil of wire. And I'm just going to nip that off. There we go. Now, you may or may not need an awl, depending on how you're going to do it. You can see, keep grabbing this guy because he's the easiest thing to grab. With these, you kind of want your stripes side on, because if you put them that way, then, you know, you've got, it's a bit bland, it doesn't quite work. So you want to get them side on, not flat on. And to do that, you can make a little hole with your awl, and then you want to put in about half of your wire. You don't want to go, let's try the overhead. You don't want to go all the way through and out the other side. You want to sort of stop it about there and give yourself a nice bit. With this end, I would nip yourself a little sharp angle See that? That's going to help it pierce the ball. But we're going to poke a little hole as well. I've lost my ball. I got sent marbles the other day. Thanks, Sarah. So, what you do, I mean, this is, there. It's that simple. It's that simple. Yes, the ear hair did actually match the colour of my hair, which was worrying. There you are. Which was worrying. She matched my hair with my. So, there you go. It's that simple, and you do exactly the same thing for the baubles. These are on 4cm balls, and this is an 8cm ball, which gives you that sort of nice thing. Now, apologies for jumping all over the place, but I have to do these things when I think about them. I think I mentioned earlier in the show that if you are going to paint your stick, then what I would do is put your stick in your stick stand and draw yourself a little line, and then leave this part blank. Don't paint this part, because we painted the sticks on the tree, and then I had to sand them back because they wouldn't fit in the stand. So then what you're going to want to do, where's my ball? There's my ball. Is decide where, squeaky squeak. Now, there's several ways that you can do this. You could sort of use a little drill or whatever, but I don't. Make sure it goes in straight. I mean, it's a ball, it's actually not going to matter. Oh dear. Right, get it in as straight as you can. There, ball on stick. And it's so noisy. That's basically, let me pop you on that camera. That's basically all you're doing. You're just going to make your hole, and dare I do, let me get one of the trees. If all of a sudden we cut to commercial, it's because what I'm about to do is about to go horribly wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and cover an entire ball. Like I said, the trees take about 99 sweets. So you make, I want to say there's 10 different sweets, so you make 9 of each of them. Please don't be glued in. Hold on. That doesn't feel like it's going to come off very easily, so I'm going to put that one back. We'll try another one. Obviously, you can hot glue. If you don't want to use the wires, you potentially could hot glue. Oh, that one came off lovely. Look at this. So what I mean about leaving the end of the stick. So this is, I've lost me hole. Hang on, there it is. There's the hole. That camera. And you can see how closely packed around it is. So if you have these, then you really want to get a nice dense covering. It's the sort of project that if you're going to do that much work, you might, let me just get this back on. There we go. Ta-da! Don't skimp on doing the bits. Give yourself some extra bits and make yourself some extra bits for your glass as well. It just really, really finishes it off. That's the tree. The the small baubles, like I said, I think they take about, I want to say they're about 30 sweets on those, which it doesn't look like you can get that many on a ball, but it fills out really, really nicely. And I'm just thinking, I think Halloween, oh my goodness, think Halloween, the all sorty decorations that you could have for Halloween and all that kind of good stuff. So let me, rather than open another kit, I'm going to show you how to make a little something for the bauble. In the bauble kit, you not only get the baubles, but you also get some gold cord to hang them on. And the way that I have found, or is a good way to secure the gold cord, is by actually making, you know, like those things that you actually hang Christmas baubles and they're like that bit of wire, is you kind of make yourself one of those. And to do that, you're going to get another bit of wire, and I'm just going to chop this off. Take something like your awl, or something which is round, and just do that so you give yourself a loop. And then give yourself just a couple of twists. I'm going to nip that off about there. And you've created yourself a little loop. Now what you can then do, I'll show you on the big polystyrene ball. Make yourself your little hole like that. And then I probably would glue this in. I'm not going to, but glue it in like that. And then you've got, obviously, this is on the big ball, but on the small ball, let me grab one. I made this is a bauble which I have put on one of our little log tree stick slices thingies, and it just makes such a cute little tree if you wanted to. But so what we would do is you could have your, no, let me get closer, hold on, overhead camera, there we go. This is obviously the hole that I made for the tree stick, but in amongst all of your sweets, you can have this little loop, and then that creates a really nice base with which to sort of loop that nice gold cord, and then you can hang them about. You can hang them on Christmas trees and all sorts. So that's the other thing that I wanted to show you. And I think we're almost about there. There are quite a few things that you can do with this. The thing that I like about this project is that you can do something really small, like a single sweet on a bit of fishing line, and you know, decorate you know, a little something. You can make these beautiful, in fact I've got one down here, these lovely popcorn strings. And again, these are threaded onto a piece of fishing wire, and I would suggest some fishing wire rather than invisible cotton, because it has a much better tensile strength. And it looks like one of those, remember those necklaces that we used to have that you eat? It looks like one of those necklaces there. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to point out was I got these sweetie jars, and they're plastic, but I got them from Amazon. Now, you can probably see, hang on, let me move my fluff tube out the way. But you can probably see that, you know, the big ones over here, they're huge. And what we've done is we've filled out the middle with just some tissue paper. So it made a little core, because obviously it is a lot of work. You are making a lot of bits, particularly with that big one over there. That's a lot of sweets. I think we worked out there's over 1,000 parts on the set. It's mad, but they're such a joy to make. So if you're going to do something like make some sweetie jars for like maybe your Halloween decorations or for your Christmas decorations, then, you know, put some tissue paper in the middle and then just fill up your jar. Let me just show you a few things that I've got here. There's a charm bracelet. Hang on. This is where it all goes horribly wrong, because I start moving stuff around on the set. Have a look at this. Look, there's a little ring that we've made with some wire, and one of them on there. There are, if I get them off of this nice tree, there's some earrings. I mean, how fun are these as a gift? And they just look amazing. They're so colourful, and it's, to be honest, it's a project that just really makes you happy. Because if you see all of this and you're not happy, then I just don't know, because how does this not, it's sweets and it's colourful, and making them. It's a lot of parts, I'm not gonna lie, but they come together so quickly that you can make handfuls of them at a time. But have a look at that charm bracelet. And there's a necklace over here as well, which I was going to wear all of this. And then decided that because I'm a complete klutz, and moving stuff around on set and felting, that I would probably hit things all over the place. And so I opted for not wearing the jewellery. And have a look at this guy. That's a key ring. I mean, come on, Christmas presents, birthday presents. There's just so many things that you can do with this. And we've even put some on cards as well. Look at that. And this is actually made from the daft template, the trumpet part, made that sort of little trug. So there's that card. There's that card. You can see that over here we've got the Be Different. And this one is I think this is my favourite card, because look, there's some acetate in the middle. So it's such a fun card. Perfect for, you know, everything. I just, can you tell? I just love this project so much. And that's why I wanted to give it its own sort of little launch just for it. So let me just tidy up a little bit. Oh, and I've made a little brooch as well with, if I do that, you can see the feathers there, feathers. So, you know, there's just so much that you can do with it. That, I believe, is about it from me. Again, thank you for spending this last sort of hour and 15 minutes with us. It has been an absolute blast. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this. So from me, from all of the Makery Pixies and crew, we wish you all a very crafty day.